Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Listen, come on in, come on in, come on in live. Let me know in the chat you are here. If you're here live, I'm excited today. We are going to talk really quickly about there's three types of people. And actually, you can be all of them, or you can be one of them, or you can learn to become the other. But we're going to talk about that. But I'm excited about that. So let's just ask ourselves these questions that we need to talk about this week. One of them is, what is it that is your life's purpose? What is it that is your life's purpose? Right? Robert Burns said, the purpose of life is to have a life purpose. What is it that is your life purpose? What is it that brings you joy? What is it that makes what you do important and makes what you do matter? What is it that you'll do for free no matter what because you feel so driven to do it? That's where we find our joy. That's where we find our purpose. Today, I feel like my purpose is to do this video because I am tired. And if you're like me, experiencing the spring forward, as much as I love the spring forward and all the extra daylight, I'm sleepy today. I'll probably be sleepy tomorrow too, but then that's it. Then I'm back in the game. But let's get to it. We have a purpose. As every week, I give you a weekly affirmation. This week's affirmation is, money comes to me easily, frequently, and abundantly. The affirmation is, money comes to me easily, frequently, and abundantly. Say that to yourself each morning. You can say it to yourself multiple times. You can decide to write it down. You can do whatever you want with it, but do something with it. Because remember, the number one thing about our money is our mindset first. Here we talk mostly about money mindset, getting our minds ready for the activities that will bring you money, because you won't attract any more money than you believe you're worth. You won't attract any more than that. And so if you don't feel worthy, if you don't feel like you could get $1 million or $2 million or 500,000 or 5 million or whatever, if you don't feel like you can get it, it'll never come to you. To be running away, because money likes good energy. The universe wants to act fast when you make decisions. And so that's what we do here today. So I'm not going to be here long. Hello, Relevant Television. I'm not going to be here long today because I have 2 more appointments after this, believe it or not. But the idea today is we're going to talk a little bit about the spender, the saver, and the wealth creator. So I'm going to tell you a little story, and I'm going to use, there's a story in the Bible. Don't ask me what book it's in. Don't ask me who wrote it. I don't know any of that, but I know the story of the talents. When God gave the talents to the men, and he said he gave to one talent, he gave to one 3 talents, he gave to the other 4 talents, and one person decided to go bury his talent in the ground for safekeeping because he knew his master was a shrewd master. The other went and made money on the 3 talents that they had. He made 50%, 75%, something like that. Then the other went and doubled the money more than one time, right? Now, I'm ad-libbing the story. You can go look it up, right? It's an easy book to look up. But he ad-libbed it. But each one of those people kind of represented the spender, the saver, and the wealth creator. Now, the saver, well, let me start with the spender. The spender is someone who is going to spend their money. You're going to get paid and you're going to spend it. You're not only going to spend the money that you earn, but you're going to get credit and spend more money to do whatever it is you feel like you want to do. You want to buy, and there's no limit to the amount of spending. The spender will go into debt for whatever it is that they want and work their way back down to what we call the line of zero. And that's the baseline. They will go into debt for shoes, and I'm not talking major stuff, because I'm not knocking having a house, a car, and all those things that are big purchases that are part of your daily living. But they will go into debt for things that may not necessarily be a necessity and pay high interest rates for it. So fashion, travel, I always talk about food, fashion, and fun. They'll go into debt, but they'll go into debt for things that may not make sense to someone else, right? Whereas the saver will take that same idea. Oh, I really want this ABC purse, outfit, suit, whatever it is. They'll save up for it. But what will end up happening is they both will end up at what we call the line of zero, because the spender is going to go up in debt and then eventually pay it back down to the line of zero. And the saver, they're going to save their money, but eventually the money's going to be gone because they're going to spend it down as soon as they get it. You ever know someone who saved up all their money to buy furniture? Not knocking it, but this is what they did. They saved up $2,000 or $3,000 to get a piece of furniture, whatever it is, be whatever. We're not talking quality here. We're just talking dollars. They'll save up for the piece of furniture, buy the furniture, and then they're back to zero. Well, what happens is neither were taught the mindset of finding a way to create wealth with that money first. One of my internet mentors says, make your money have babies first. You should get your money pregnant first. It's like you want teen pregnancy with your money, right? I mean, there's no other way to say it. You want, as soon as you get your money, to find a way to have that money to multiply. And that's what the wealth creator does. The wealth creator finds ways to leverage that money as soon as possible before they go and spend and buy or save and do things. Or they find ways to put it in places that will allow them to have that money continuously grow and still be able to build wealth doing other things, such as buying stocks, getting into investments, doing real estate, doing all the things that are out there. There's no way I can name all the things that you could do to generate money once you become a wealth creator, because true wealth creators can create wealth out of thin air. And you're probably like, Saran, you're crazy. And I am not, because we're sitting on and we're looking at tools that didn't exist, that were created in somebody's mind, and they were created out of thin air, but they generate money, and somebody's wealthy because we're using them, right? We can name all of them. I can name all of them. I can name 5 right now that I'm using. I'm using StreamYard. That didn't exist. I'm using Facebook. I'm using YouTube. And I'm using a computer. And I'm using the camera. And I'm using the keyboard. And I'm using the mouse. All these things were things that were created to create wealth. And there are tons of different ways to do it. But the idea is to really think about how can you create wealth from your creative self, because you've heard me say many times, you were born abundant. We are born abundant. Abundance is our birthright. God did not put you here poor, right? You may have come into a family with a poor mentality who told you were poor. But if we believe that God is the author and finisher of our faith, and we believe that God is the creator of wealth, then we will also have to believe that why would he create poverty for me? And the reality is that we create poverty for ourselves in our minds. Because that's why we can have rags to riches stories. That's why we can have someone who went from, wooden spoons. I mean, that was a reference back in the early 1900s, but, a wooden spoon to a silver spoon. People who came from nothing to something. A lot of people in the financial industry like to talk about Rockefeller, but when you look at his story of where he came from, he didn't come from much. He created all that in his mind. He came up with those plans. A lot of strategic plans. It's very complicated, matter to get into if you actually watch any of his documentaries. But these are people who came from places where somebody didn't give them $100,000 to start. They just went out and started working and figured it out, just like you can. If we change our mindset about money and we change our mindset about debt, because one of the things is any true wealth creator will have good debt. Meaning they will have made some debt with the purpose of making money with the debt. Not debt on items and stuff. Not bills, but debt on things that allow them to create wealth. And so that's the type of wealth creator we want to be. We have to challenge ourselves to think creatively. Actually, one of my newest internet mentors challenged me today and said, hey, Saran, tomorrow I want you to come back with 3 ideas how you can leverage what you already have or leverage what someone else has to make money. And everybody win. The person that you worked with, you and your clients, everybody make money. That's a huge challenge to think about, to as someone who helps people to create wealth, for me to think about other ways to create it, not only for me, but for helping my clients and building partnerships and coalitions with others where everybody wins. You know, how many of us have heard it said, if there's a winner, there's a loser? And that's not always true. Where there's a winner, there can be another winner. Someone told us that these things were lacking. And the reality is everything can be true all at one time. So today you have to really think about, which one are you? A spender, a saver, or a wealth creator? But here's the cool part. You can be a spender and find your way to learning to be a saver and move your way to being a wealth creator. You don't have to stay in one place. It's one of those things where you're not stuck there, you're not stagnant, but you got to change your mindset in order to get from through the different phases to go where it is you want to go. So think about which one you are, think about where you want to go, think about who you want to be to the world. One of the things that, two things I always said, I've been saying for a very long time is, one is I want to go everywhere and eat a bagel. I want to go all over the world and eat a bagel or its equivalent. But I also always said I want to create generational wealth for family members and relatives who will never know my name, who may never know that I created something that they're benefiting from now. They might see my picture on, on the mantle, but they don't have any idea that the sacrifices of the work that I put in to try to create ways for them to be able to not start from zero. And that's a challenge, and that's a purpose that I feel like I'm here to fulfill. But the question becomes, is that a purpose you're here to fulfill? Yours may not be mine, yours may be similar, but you have to think about what that means to you and thinking about what kind of person you will be. Because at the end of the day, this guy, I can't pronounce his name, named Leo, he said, your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with your gift, what you do with it is your gift back to God. And so I try to use my ability to speak, my ability to handle a stage, to open my mouth, to not be afraid of the camera, to, my friends laugh. I'm like, just give me the microphone. We're going to get it done. To help people and to give back to God, to say, thank you for the gift, but here's how I'm going to help to multiply that to help other people so that they can change their lives and they can improve their situation. They can get better and they can create wealth for their families. So not only am I a spender, a saver, and a wealth creator, I'm a creator of wealth creators. So which one do you want to be? So I wasn't going to be here with you long today, but I wanted to check in on this Spring Forward Monday. And I know many of you are going to bed just like I am by 10 o'clock. So you can somehow, you're never going to catch up on that sleep, but get a little rest so you can get started early again tomorrow. And so I love the spring. I love all the hours, the daylight hours. I am going to be burning the candle at both ends, and I'm excited about it. Going all over the country, helping families, helping friends, helping businesses to create wealth. And so be sure to follow my Facebook page. You can tap in at joinsaran.com, where you can get real live updates on where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing. And workshops and challenges where we're going to be putting pen to paper and getting things done. Here I'm really talking about money mindset, so that when you get in a room with me or you get on a webinar with me, that you're ready to do the work that it takes to get things done. Because the work of the finance and creating of the wealth is actually the easy part. The hardest part is uprooting those old beliefs, those old thoughts, those old programs, those old feelings about yourself, that lie somebody told you when you were a kid, or that narrative you made up when something happened and you don't really know what happened, because when we're kids, everything is about how we feel and we just make up how we feel, and that was the truth. But uprooting those things so that you can really, really, really tap into who you were made to be, and you can tap into your spiritual power. Because I've said it many times and I'll say it again, money is energy. But it's not just any energy, it's spiritual energy returned to you. So what spiritual energy are you putting out that's being returned to you? If you show me a broke person, I'll show you someone who's broke spiritually. Because God does not want us to be broke. If God had all those people in the Bible were rich, David, Solomon, Abraham, I'm trying to name all of them, but you know, I'm not a Bible scholar, but I got the information I got. But so many of them were rich, and not just little rich, like quadrillion rich, cotillion rich, like money that can't be spent in no one's lifetime, in multiple lifetimes. And so if those people existed and created in these kingdoms and the allegories and the stories and the parables that are given to us about the riches that God had placed into the people of God during that time, then why is that not true for you today? Or have you bought into the money is evil narrative? Because money by itself is not evil. The root of all evil is the love of money, or the misuse of money to do evil deeds. Money itself is just a piece of paper and a representation of your energy. So keep that in mind. It's your girl, Saran. Peace, love, and light. Let's get your money right. I will see you next week, and check my Facebook page for other events. Bye.